Welcome back to County Board Wrap Up, Arlington Television's monthly look at the key actions taken by the County Board. I'm Kara O'Donnell, and joining me today are County Board Chair Libby Garvey and Board Member Matt DeFerranti. We're walking us through some of the actions the board took at its June meeting. Now let's start off with how the manager unveiled his proposed capital improvement plan, the budget for large infrastructure plans. It's normally on a 10-year cycle with updates every 2 years, but this one's a little different. Matt, we'll start with you. Can you explain this for us?
Yeah, it's a lot different, Matt.
Sure is. Yeah, and I think it's important to just note that the economic uncertainty that we've had, or the change that has been a result of COVID-19, has led to a different approach to our capital planning. And so the manager has brought forward a 1-year capital improvement plan this time. And that's very different from what we would have expected 5 months ago. But I think it's the right approach. What we have now is a proposed capital improvement plan. We have a month where there will be input. And so we have a public hearing on June 30th. We have a couple of work sessions. But the focus here has been on finishing existing contracts that have already started and really scaling down so we focus on a few key priorities. And one of them we know from approximately a year ago is stormwater response. We had that storm July 8th last year, and so many in our community rightly have called for some investments in stormwater to help keep homes safe. And so that's a significant component of the capital improvement plan. It's also we have those existing contracts. There is a little bit in there to help address body-worn cameras in this proposed plan. So I think we just have to understand the environment, the place we are, which is a very different world where we have to focus on doing well what we can for this year, and then we can come back to work on planning future years next year. So that's the capital improvement plan.
I told the manager it was a smart and strategic CIP, I think. And I just explained, so some people might think, oh, you're working on Lover Run, or you're working on the pool at the aquatics facility at Long Beach. Yeah, because that's already paid for and done.
Right.
So we're going to keep that going. But once they are done, we're not going to open. We're not going to open right away because and then people say, well, why all the money's been spent on doing that? Well, actually, to have a facility like the aquatics facility or Lover Run, there are a lot of people that keep those buildings running and keep them open for people. So that is an expense that we are not going to take right now because we really are not sure if we can afford it and what we can do. We are attending to some very important sort of maintenance things. There's a bridge across West Glebe that needs to be fixed soon. We don't want bridges falling down, so we're continuing to work on that. The folks around Lover Run, there are some washed out bridges there in the park. We're actually going to continue and get those, get 2 of those done. One's already well underway, and there's one more we're going to do. So, we're doing all that, and then we'll come back and look at it. And then we've got a work session with our schools too, and on their CIP. So I'll be interested to hear from them what they're doing, because they've got a lot of rethinking to do as well. These are just very, as I said, turbulent times.
Right. And I mean, to that point, these turbulent times, unfortunately, are not going away anytime soon, as we've said. Do we see this as perhaps at least a near term, in the next few years, trend where we see these smaller, much more immediate focused CIPs rather than the 10-year plans that we've had in the past?
Well, I think Mark said he was hoping to bet, and I think there'll be a short one next in a year, right, Matt? I think, as you said, he'd come back in a year, and then after that, then we'd get back on the 2 years. So we'll probably have a bond and what we call an off year.
Okay.
But I think 2 years from now, then we're hoping to have another 10-year, get back on track.
Hopefully, we'll be all back to normal by.
Well, I think it might be back to normal, but normal is not what we had before, and so we'll all find out what that is.